Alright everyone, here we are with ticker symbol NIO, NEO Inc. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all my first time viewers and investors. Welcome to my channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all my subscribers, welcome back. And we're going to jump into this chart. But before we jump into this chart, I want to go ahead and say thank you to all the subscribers, all the viewers, and all the investors that took the time to answer the trivia question down below yesterday. And stay tuned because there's going to be another trivia question towards the end of this video. So stay tuned till the end. And I want to say thank you for all you guys that take the time to go ahead and answer. By answering those questions, you guys are equipping yourselves to memorize it and also helping other viewers and investors by seeing in the comments if there's anything they overlooked. They can always check it out, and from there on out, go ahead and look at those points as cues and reference for the next trading day or the days to come, because those questions are usually based off of what's important for the next day or the next coming days. So I really put emphasis on that so that you guys can remember it and pay close attention to it. Now, NEO Inc., as I stated yesterday, was on the fight to stay above the 50-day moving average. And as I stated, the bulls have been fighting, right? They've really done a good job. They've been running up. They hit highs here. This is the highest point reached in the valuation of NEO. I want to go ahead and emphasize this right now. This is the most important resistance level for the bulls to see any newer highs and move anywhere further from where it's at. I mean, I know there's a lot of analysis out there. You guys do your due diligence and research on that, but there's so many people out there giving this that target price of $50, target price of $60, $100, $150, $200. I mean, I've seen some big numbers. I'm not saying that they're not possible, because when you zoom out, NEO has been growing. This is actually considered a stock that's been growing with exponential growth and has been doing really well. I mean, we've seen it all the way back down here close to $3. This was back in May, and if we go even further, you can see that this was once valued even at $1.50, $1.80, $1.90, $2, and then started to work its way up. And we're here. We're at this point. I mean, NEO has grown tremendously. I'm not saying that the growth won't continue. And I can see NEO growing with potential because it's actually delivering a product. This is one of these EV companies that's actually delivering a product and focusing on one of the sectors of EV cars, right, and SUVs, which is really important. I know that there's other sectors that are important as well, like big trucks and other things that EV companies can work on, but focusing on four-door sedans and SUVs is super important because that's the one that most consumers are looking for. There's a much broader and larger consumer base for these sections, which competes head to head with what Tesla has provided, and NEO is following right behind. So there is potential as long as they continue to innovate and produce quality products and a price point that is actually significantly well and understandable for consumers to say, you know what, it's worth it. They see the value and they're making it affordable, and they continue to deliver, and they continue to show investors why invest with NEO, why actually NEO will continue to grow. It's going to attract more investors to come on in and actually get their initial investment put into the market of NEO and make it continue to grow to get back more than what they initially invested. So NEO is potentially going to continue to grow as long as they continue to deliver innovation and a real product and revenue. And after revenue, net income. Because what makes stocks go up is the fact that there's a net income, which then is their profit margin. Now, something I'm seeing here is that earnings hasn't been reported. I'm not sure if it's now after hours or it's showing here on the 10th. If anybody knows when earnings exactly was, if it was supposed to be after hours right now, I'd really appreciate you guys commenting down below, or if it's been moved, or if this is just being delayed and you guys already saw earnings. But today was supposedly earnings. So here we are now with it actually falling. I stated yesterday that the bears tried to bring this down and the bulls brought it back up by leveling it off. But important factor here was that you could see that the bears have actually came in a little bit stronger. They broke through the 50-day moving average only for an hour, and usually that indicates that even if the bulls came back up, the 50-day moving average is a lot closer now to the stock price, and that the bears were going to try to come in stronger and harder and heftier, which they did. And now we are in bearish territory. If you guys recall me saying that in the last video, definitely comment down below what your thoughts were when I said that. And if you don't recall me saying that, I do want to post the previous video so you guys can check out anything that you might have missed, or if this is your first time coming across this video and this channel, so that you can go check out yesterday's analysis and how it adds up to today and why these numbers are important. So right now you could see that the bears actually appeared. Now, could the bulls recover? I mean, I would say yes, because this is not that far from the 50-day moving average. This is actually in tug-of-war type of state. It can go up, it can go down, but if it takes this direction, it's going to get much harder for the bulls to actually bring this back up. So excuse me with all my scrabble, but I think that you guys can get the gist of it. That's the whole point, so you guys can visually see it. But if it goes in that direction, yes, the bulls are going to have a lot more trouble bringing it back up. So now we're going to see what is important for tomorrow. And keep in mind, there's going to be a trivia question at the end of this video. So our supports here have changed and our resistance has changed. So I want us to look at the highest and lowest point reached in the trajectory of today after recovering slightly from this bearish run. This actually fell today all the way down to lows of 38.13. I'd write that down. That is an important support level if this was to get dominated by the bears for the next coming days and weeks, depending on the volatility of where this goes. Now, the highest point before it fell was up here at 44.67. I'd write that down. That's an important number for the bulls for the next coming days and weeks. But now we're going to look at this closely based off of the last couple of hours of the day, as this recovered and went in a sideways direction, but below the 50-day moving average in bearish territory. So our 50-day moving average, super important number, 42.67. And write that down. As long as we're above it, we're in bullish territory. The moment we're below it, we're in bearish territory. So right now, we're in bearish territory. We're currently at 41.65. And for the bulls to bring this back up, they need to cross the 50-day moving average. But after crossing the 50-day moving average, they need to break through this point up here at 44.67. That's why it's super important for the next coming days and weeks, according to the volatility. I mean, this could change in that trajectory by tomorrow. It could take days. It could take a week. So that's why that number for the bulls is very important. Now, in the bearish trajectory, like I stated earlier, this is a very important number down here at the 38.12 mark. Keep that number in mind, 38.12. Those are the two most important numbers, 38.12 and up here at 44.67. Super important numbers to keep in mind as this plays out. Now, for the bulls to even get started and start a catalyst and get back into bullish territory, they need to break through this resistance. It's the highest point they reached in bearish territory, and that is 42.63. That is not that far from the 50-day moving average, but the bulls need to break through that and get towards the 50-day moving average and get away from it in an upward direction. How do they do that? The first step is breaking through 42.63, turn that into a support, pull away, jump into bullish territory, and get further away from the 50-day moving average in an upward direction to start hitting newer resistance levels and newer highs. So super important for 42.63 to be broken through. That's the resistance level and turned into a support. Now, on the other hand, which I really want to emphasize to all investors, pay very close attention to this stock, how it's reacting, because how this stock is reacting as it gets closer to support It's moving further away from the 50-day moving average, and we're already in bearish territory. And the further down it goes, the more deeper we're getting into it, and we may test newer lows and new support levels based off of that. So 40.35 is our support. That's the lowest point before it started to recover and level off to where we're at now at 41.63. If 40.35 gets broken through, my emphasis is pay close attention to the behavior of this stock. How quickly did it get down there? How quickly is it actually hitting newer lows? And are the bulls trying to reappear and bring this back up? Or is this just pulling further away from the 50-day moving average in a downward direction? So keep that in mind. 40.35 is our support, and my emphasis is pay very close attention to it because we're already in bearish territory, and this is much deeper into bearish territory. And it's just going to become harder and more difficult for the bulls to reappear to bring this back up. And we're seeing a lot of volatility here. This is the first time in the consolidation period that I've actually seen it jump so much. It jumped down, consolidated, jumped up, consolidated, jumped down. Now, are we going to see a consolidation or jump down, or finally actually the bulls load up on stocks, take advantage of this price and bring themselves back up? Those are the two questions to ask and see what's going on with NEO right now. Pay very close attention to these cues. And as always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community. And don't forget to hit that like button to let me know you watched this video. So, trivia question. What are the two most important points in the bullish trajectory as it's going up, right, for the next coming days and weeks? And what is the most important bearish trajectory as it's going down for the next coming days and weeks? I would love for you guys to put those 2 points down below. I stated them earlier in the video, and they're really important to pay close attention to as the days unravel, and also to see even the next coming weeks depending on the volatility of this stock. I look forward to seeing your guys' comments down below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.